brilliant pitching performance during that one with their righty Nick Pivetta, kind enough to join us on the Boardwalk Honda hotline on this Friday. Nick, how you doing, bud?
Good. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. Appreciate a couple moments. And, we were kind of talking about the starting rotation in the opening monologue in the 12 o'clock hour. And you look at your last two outings, I mean, you've been really solid, including that 2-hit, 11-strikeout gem against the O's on Wednesday. 11 strikeouts match your career high. I was looking at some of these numbers over the last 10 or so games as a whole. And I don't know if you guys read into this or buy into it, but you guys have just been brilliant. I mean, what's been the difference this year in you on the mound as opposed to maybe last year? What have you worked on that has just made you started to really blossom now?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is just, fastball consistency, limiting definitely walks and really working ahead of guys. And, also another big factor is being able to use my off speed when I'm behind in counts to get them off my fastball. So that's really helped me out a lot this year.
I noticed the other night, too, against the O's, 23 swinging strikes among your 99 pitchers. So it's always good for a starting pitcher to actually get ahead of the count and start to make guys think a little bit and press. Was there anything that going into the season, statistically, we don't really talk about goals, but was there anything that you said to yourself, last year maybe there were some mental lapses, maybe I pressed a little bit, but you seemed a lot more relaxed on the mound this year?
Yeah, I mean, last year was just my rookie season. There's going to be a lot of ups and downs that go along with it, and I think I got a lot of it out of the way that I need to get out of the way so I could focus on my second year. I think that's what's really helped me out. I've had my lumps last year. I know how to handle them this year, stay out of those big inning situations. So I think that's what's helped the most so far this year.
Yeah, I put up the numbers in front of me over the last 9, not including last night. The starting rotation giving up just 8 earned runs in 56 innings, which is impressive, 1.29 ERA. You talk about what Nola does. He's an innings eater. He goes out there and fights through. You talk about Velasquez, who was solid last night, 6 1/3. How about the addition of Arrieta, being a young pitcher yourself? What has Jake Arrieta brought to the table? Because you know his resume. Yeah.
It's really comforting having a guy like that for all of us to, kind of lean on in certain situations and times when either you're struggling or you just want to, dive into baseball and talk a little bit more about stuff that's going to happen in the future and stuff that he's went through in the past. So I think it's a really great addition for our team, not only from a pitching standpoint, but also from a whole team standpoint. It brings a veteran leader into the clubhouse, and I think it's been nothing but positive energy from him so far.
I made the point, and I know you can't speak for other guys out there, but sometimes when you bring on a pitcher, you bring in a guy that's had a resume and equity in the game, and Cy Young Award winner, and all of a sudden you get other pitchers starting to pitch well. Other guys want to actually take up their game, right? They all right, let me match these guys outing for outing. I get the sense that it's good competitiveness, but you guys are starting as a whole staff starting to rise to the occasion a little more.
Yeah, I think we're all just kind of moving in the right directions right now with our careers and as from a team standpoint too. We're all feeding off each other. We're all constantly talking to each other. So I think that's what's really going on. And it's nice to have Jake there too. And I think it's a great team atmosphere we have right now. And I think we're just going to keep rolling on it, working hard every single day and having fun too while we're doing it.
Nick Pivetta feels ready joining us for a couple moments. I believe your next scheduled start will be on Monday, fresh off your very solid performance against Baltimore on Wednesday night. I thought going into the season, maybe the bullpen was going to be a little bit of a question mark here and there, but you look at what Ramos has done, that nasty slider, which was it's very effective against righties. Nearest, who's had some issues here and there, a couple tough outings, but he seems to have bounced back. I bring it back to the manager and having confidence in you guys. And I'm sure you might not even go online or listen to Sports Talk Radio, but he had a rough go of it from our standpoint the first week of the season. Have you seen adjustments in Gabe from a managerial style? And I get the sense that he has more confidence in you guys where if I'm going to keep you out there 5, I'm going to keep you out there 5. I'm going to give you trust with the baseball. What have you seen with the manager 40 games into the season?
I think it's a lot on us. He reads what we're doing and he trusts us what we're doing. If he sees us cruising through 5, 6 5-6 innings, he's going to let us run out there to the 7th, 8th because we deserve to do that, because we're keeping our pitch count slow. We're keeping the game close and low scores. We're not walking guys. We're not having stressful innings. So a lot of the time it's on us, and that's how he's going to base his decisions on whether we're going to keep going or we're going to be done. It's great because we have such a solid bullpen right now.
Right.
If we're in sticky situations, we got a guy in the pen that can come out there and throw up a zero and really save our butts. So it makes I think it's making his life a lot easier with his decisions, because we're all doing so well right now. We're all kind of just moving in the right direction. So anytime that you can make his decision easier, especially anytime you can go into the 7th inning, then you only have to use 2,
shorten
maybe
up the game,
3 guys in the 7th or in the 8th and 9th inning, and you're good to go. So it just makes his life easier, and we just, I think where we're at right now, we're in a perfect spot, and I think we just need to keep riding what we have going on. Don't think too much and just have fun while we're doing it.
Is it tougher sometimes if you want to be out there and you want to fight through that inning, right? It's always, I got one more at bat in me. Is it tough sometimes if he's going to come out there, he's going to make that walk where, all right, that's it, my outing's done? Because then you almost think you're going to press a little more your next start. Or do you guys also, there's got to be that trust factor as well, right? He trusts you, but conversely, you guys have to trust him to know when, if you don't have your stuff, you don't have your stuff.
Yeah, of course. He's the manager at the end of the day. He's going to be the one that makes the decisions. I mean, I only have a year in the big leagues, so I'm
yeah, you got a long way to go, my friend.
So the only thing that I can control is what I can control on the field while I'm playing. And I think that's the most important way to think about it and to go about your business. Because if you start worrying about other things, then nothing else is going to go good, because these big league hitters are going to hit balls really far. So if you're not focusing pitch to pitch, inning to inning, then you're not going to be any use to the team.
Listen, it's a great approach. I look at a lot of the teams in baseball. The good teams have a lot of young, good position players. You look at the Yankees, you look at Cleveland, you look at Boston, you look at the Braves with some of their prospects. But I also look at what you guys are doing, from an offensive standpoint, and that's got to make your job really that much more easier when you have guys. Herrera's having a great season early on. Franco, we know he's going to put the numbers up. Santana, and people have criticized him, but at the end of the day, he's a slow starter in April, May. He's got the glove, and he gets on base. So those power numbers are going to start to come alive. I mean, it helps when you're getting 3, 4, 5 runs an outing. You're getting the run support.
Yeah, it makes our life a lot easier, especially, when, say, like the other day when Vince went down three runs, but then he ended up striking out 12, and then we came back and we won, we just got to wait on our offense. They're going to be there. We have a lot of great hitters, a lot of young hitters, and Santana's really barreling down that 3-4-2 kind of area, and then Herrera's on base all the time, and then Cease is putting together great at bats every single day. I mean, he's a tremendous leadoff hitter. I think when both sides are working together, I think it makes everybody's life a lot easier. When the offense doesn't have to worry about, picking up the slack, or the pitching staff doesn't have to worry about picking up the slack. That they're always going to be there. It's like a perfect symphony. It just works. It works really well.
That's an excellent point. You actually sound like a seasoned vet. So, post-career, you might have a career in radio because you're saying all the right things. Hey, listen, before I let you get out of here, as a whole, you guys are playing really good baseball. 8 out of your last 10, 25 and 16. You're right there with the Atlanta Braves. I thought both you guys and the Braves would be much more competitive, better baseball this year. When is it, and I know you're young and maybe you can't speak to this, so it might be a little bit of a softball question, it might be a loaded question, but when do you think you're really going to start to sense, okay, you know what, we're kind of on to something here? The Nationals, we know what they're going to bring. The Mets are falling to the wayside. Miami's, they're just a bad baseball team. Atlanta's a young team like us, but when do you start to sense, okay, hey, we're buying in what Gabe's telling us, we're playing good baseball, we might be ahead of the game right here? Is it something honestly, right now you're feeling it, or?
I think it's way too early to get ahead of ourselves. I think what we need to focus on is tacking on wins, going series to series.
Fair point.
I think the biggest thing is winning series, and I think it's really important. Like that sweep of San Fran the other day was really big. Yes. I think winning a series against coming up Atlanta, since we don't play them until September, I believe, or late August. I think that's going to be a really, really big series coming up, because you don't play those guys until when it's really, really crunch time. So the more series you can win early, the better off you're going to be later. So I think that's going to be a big series coming up for us. And I think we're all geared up for that 3-game series coming back. The Braves are a much different team than they were last year, a lot like us. So I think they're going to be one of our bigger competitions. The Nationals are very sneaky, and they do have Strasburg, they do have Scherzer, and they do have Harper. They have some really good guys. You just got to see if they're gonna really put it together and see where they're gonna go.
Yeah.
But you can never keep them out of, especially when they get Murph back and Eden. So and Zim. But I think right now, series to series is where we need, game to game is where we really need to focus and let everything take care of it as it comes along.
Yep. No, it's a great point. You drop 2 out of 3 against the Nats, and then you come with that 4-game sweep of the San Francisco Giants. So it's a good point. Listen, keep up the red-hot start. You're pitching well. Starting rotation's doing a hell of a job early on. I appreciate you making time on a Friday. We'll certainly look forward to the next start on Monday. And you guys keep it rolling. I appreciate a couple moments, Nick.
All right, thank you very much for having me.
All right, you got it. You got it. Be well. Nick Pivetta from the Philadelphia Phillies. Really good stuff with him.